Alright guys, so we're going to start this video about the log properties. So the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is if you have a highlighter, or you can just go ahead and grab just a different color, you can circle it, put a star or something. These are going to be the three main properties that I need you to make sure we have memorized for the test next week. We're going to use them for expanding, for simplifying, and for solving. So we're going to need them for all three. Underneath here, we're going to do 3 examples. The first set of examples we're going to do are going to be to expand. So we're going to take each of these logs and we're going to make it as complicated as possible using those properties up above. So for our first example, we have a log with multiplication on the inside. So we're going to use that product property. So we're going to have the log of 3 plus the log of x cubed. Okay, and then after that, we are going to take our power property. We're going to take this exponent and turn it into a multiplication problem. So our final answer is going to be log 3, plus 3 log x. And we can't make it any more complicated than that, so that is going to be our final solution. Okay, now for the next problem, our first step is to remember that the cube root of anything is going to be equivalent to the 1/3 power. So I'm going to start by rewriting this as the 1/3 power so we can see that power property in motion. So first step, I'm going to take this 1/3, I'm going to bump it out front. So we've got 1/3 log of xyz. And then we're going to use that product property. And we're going to break that apart into 1/3 times the log of x plus log y plus log z. And if we wanted to keep going, we could. This is definitely not necessary, but we could expand it into 1/3 log x plus 1/3 log y plus 1/3 log z. So either one of those is going to be an appropriate answer for that one. And then the last one here, we are going to start with that subtraction. So we're going to undo that subtraction by using that quotient property. This time we're going to make sure that we bring that log 4 along with us. So we're going to do log base 4 of xy minus log base 4 of 3. And then we're going to use that product property to break up the first guy into log base 4 of x plus log base 4 of y plus log base 4 of 3. And again, that's as expanded as we can get it, so that's going to be our final answer. So the second set here, instead of expanding, we're now going to condense. So we're going to take each of these and we're going to try to put them back together into one log statement. The first thing we need to make sure for these is we need to make sure that they first have the same base. So if we have 2 logs with different bases, we're not allowed to combine them together, kind of like exponents. We would never put an x squared and a y squared together. They would stay separate. Same idea here for the logs. And then we're going to undo each property one at a time. So what I would do first for this guy here is I would take this 4 and put it into the exponent. So I would have log of x minus log of y to the 4th. And then we know that quotient property is going to be a division when we put it back together. So we've got log of x over y to the 4th is our final answer. Okay, and then the last problem here, again, I would start with this 2 here. We're going to bump that back into the exponent. So we've got log base 3 of 4 plus log base 3 of x squared minus log base 3 of 5. So this one here, we have the product property and we have the quotient property. So we're going to have log base 3. We're going to multiply the 4 and the x squared together, and then we're going to divide that whole thing by 5. And that's going to be our final answer. So once you've watched this video, I want you guys to go ahead and try these questions in that 622 packet. Once you do that, then you can move on to the next video about solving with logs.